Okay, so for class, you're gonna need 2 blocks and a blanket. We are gonna start off on a long blanket roll. So take your folded blanket into a position where it's long enough to support the length of your body from hips to head. And then we're gonna roll that up. And you're gonna lie back, hips to head on the blanket. And just kind of check in once you land. Do you need more support under your head if your neck can't relax? Maybe your feet need to be a little wider apart so you can really let your hips go. Feeling the blanket holding your spine. Making any adjustments here so that you don't feel like you have to hold on to not roll off the blanket. So maybe that means arms come out wider. Maybe you need to adjust the position of your head. And then we'll start to lengthen out the breath. So as you inhale, can you imagine sending your breath down the length of your spine, down the length of the blanket into your hips? And then as you exhale, the breath comes back up and right on out through the crown of your head. And the exhales can be a little longer, especially if you're feeling a little anxious or you need to kind of settle down. And maybe you shift into Ujjayi breath. So that's a type of breathing of pranayama where we're closing off the back of the throat a bit. So you can hear your own breath, you can feel the vibrations of the breath in the throat. Kind of like you were sucking air in through a straw, but through your nose on the inhale. And so at its heart, our practice of yoga is a practice in attention. And so these different types of breath work are just ways to kind of harness your attention. So not only are you focusing on the length of the breath, maybe the visualization of the breath moving down on your inhale and then back up and out on your exhale, but you also have the texture of your breath. You can feel it, you have that sound of your breath, just gathering all of your senses into what's happening right now. And then maybe take your arms out a little wider, let your attention drop down into your tailbone. Can you imagine releasing your tail right onto the blanket? Getting a sense of the weight of your sacrum, that space between the backs of the hips, below your lumbar spine, below your lower back. Can you let that drop heavier on the blanket? Feeling the whole pelvis kind of settle down and noticing if there's any tension, any holding that you might let go of around your hips as you let the sacrum drop. Walk your attention up through the lumbar spine, those 5 kind of chunky bones of your lower spine, letting each bone sink into the blanket. And then the same through your thoracic spine, your rib cage spine. There's 12 bones here. Letting each one settle down. And with those bones comes the weight of your rib cage. You still have the curve of your neck, so it's probably not all resting on the blanket, but can you imagine still releasing through each bone of the cervical spine? You've got 7. And then finally, can you release the weight of your head? Feeling your breath nice and steady. We're going to move from this place of really feeling held and secure on the blanket. On your next exhale, really feeling your spine firm down into the blanket, especially through the top of the sacrum, bottom of the lumbar spine, top of the lumbar spine, back bottom ribs, really rooting into the blanket. And can you imagine taking your right waist, sliding it across the belly and tucking it into your left waist? And then taking your left waist, sliding it across the belly and tucking it into your right. So you have this kind of wrapping of support coming from your lower belly. And take a breath in. Exhale, really feeling that press into the blanket, and we'll extend the right leg straight down the mat. Inhale, lift it up. And then exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, left leg extends down and lifts up. Inhale. And exhale, bring it down. Inhale to rebend the knee. We'll do that again on the other side. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Left arm's going to come up alongside the ear. Exhale, extend that right leg straight. And this time, left arm, right leg, reach up. Maybe they touch. And then exhale, release. And rebend the knee. Right arm up alongside the ear. Exhale. Left arm, right leg, left leg, right arm, reach up. And then release. And we'll do one more like that on either side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And release. Next exhale, you can roll your way off the blanket, coming up into a tabletop. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And we're going to find a nice strong press down through the base of the pose. So hands, knees, feet, all pressing down. Feel the pubic bones start to slide back, tipping the pelvis forward. Inhale, coming into your cow pose. Front side of the body lengthens. Heart lifts. And then exhale, the tailbone's gonna curl down, pulling your spine into flexion, coming into your cat. And then inhale back into your cow. We'll do a couple of those. Next breath, come back to neutral. Think about, again, tucking the sides of the waist into each other, finding that nice support through your lower belly. And we're going to tuck the left toes under and press back through that left heel, feeling an opening across the back of that lower leg. Base of the pose presses down, hips nice and level. And we'll take that left leg up. Hip height. Inhaling to take the right arm forward. And then we'll exhale, elbow to inner left knee, and you're gonna push those in towards each other, really engaging in through the midline of the body. And then inhale, extend back out again. And exhale, release. Finding neutral. Exhaling to extend back through that right heel. Leg's gonna lift to hover. And we'll take that left arm forward, coming into our bird dog. Elbow to knee. And you guys, in a way that I can't do right now with this baby in the belly, the inner elbow to the inner knee, you're gonna squeeze in, drawing everything into the midline of the body, and then inhale, extend back out again. And release. Breathe in. Exhale, right arm, left leg. This time hold. Find that engagement through the belly. See how level you can keep your hips, especially keeping that right hip over the right knee. And we're gonna take the arm and the leg out to the sides. And you're breathing. Base of the pose presses down. Inhale, reach back out again. And exhale, release. Neutral spine. Inhale, right leg, left arm. Keeping that left hip stacked. Can you take the arm and the leg out to the sides? And how does your steady breath support you here through this work? Through this discomfort. Inhale, and exhale, release. We're gonna do that one more time on each side. Inhale, right arm, left leg, extend. And exhale out to the sides. Inhale. And exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Let's tuck the toes and press into downward facing dog. Press of the arms, helping to lift the hips up and back. And your legs are trying to actively grow longer as your feet push into the ground, even if they don't straighten out. Feel how strong and stable you are in that right arm. Still pushing your hips up and back. Left hand can reach over for the outer right leg and slide down any amount, coming into a little bit of a twist. And change sides. Let's take a break. Child's pose. Hips to the heels, arms reach forward. Set up for a lunge. You might like some padding under your back knee. And if you are going to set up padding for the back knee, set it up so that your whole back lower leg is on the same height, so foot and knee. Coming into 90-degree angles with your knees. And then from here, you can take your arms out like you're a tightrope walker. You're going to bring your left foot over onto that tightrope. So it's going to come directly in front of your right knee, or as close to that as you can get. Think about tucking in the sides of the waist, getting that nice solid support in the abdomen. Gaze at one spot. Steady breath. Solid press down through the base. And then any amount, we're going to twist over to the left. Inhaling back through center. And opening up to the right. Feeling all the little micro adjustments that you make through your foot. You can stay here working this twisted balance. You might reach down for your back foot or lower leg and find a little side back bend here. That steady rhythm of your breathing is just weaving its way through your whole practice. So especially when you don't feel steady, coming back to your breath. Back to center. Hands can come down. You can come back to kneeling. Just taking a moment before we set up for the other side. Downward facing dog would feel good. You could take that. Child's pose. And then right foot forward, 90 degrees in the knees. Finding that engagement through your belly. Finding your way onto your tightrope. And then twisting from your center to the right. So using your breath to harness your attention, and then your gaze point, your drishti. Gazing at one spot so you're not taking in a ton of information from around the room that might distract you or throw you off. Inhaling to come back through center. And then exhale to the left. Maybe that left hand comes down to find the back foot or leg. Maybe you have a block. The floor feels far away. Inhaling to come back up to center. And then exhale, facing forward. Taking a break. Let's come into downward facing dog. You can keep your blanket set up in the middle of the mat. We're gonna do some lunging vinyasa. I'll do the first one with you and then I'm gonna sit. Since this baby has stolen my breath, can't really cue through these as nicely as I used to be able to. So coming into downward facing dog. Again, base of the pose is going to push down so you can get that nice lift through the hips. Let's inhale, right leg backing up, keeping the hips level. We're going to exhale and step your foot up in between your hands as best you can get it up there. Release the back knee. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, forward fold at the front of your mat. Stand up, inhale. Urdhva Hastasana, upward arms. Fold down, exhale. Long spine, inhale, pubic bone and tailbone reach back. Collarbones reach forward. And then right leg, same leg, steps back. Release the knee. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, step back to plank. You can release the knees here. Lower halfway or all the way down onto your belly. Back bend as you inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale your left leg, back it up. Exhale, step your left leg forward. Release your back knee down. Inhale, arms up, low lunge. And then exhale, plant your hands and step into your forward fold at the front of the mat, Uttanasana. Press down through the feet. Inhale, stand all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana, upward arms. And then exhale, fold down again, Uttanasana. Long spine, inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, plank, lower halfway or all the way down. Inhale into your back bend, cobra, baby cobra, maybe upward facing dog, pulling the heart forward. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step it to the hands, release the left knee. Inhale, low lunge, arms up. Exhale, step to the front of your mat, forward fold. Stand all the way up, inhale, arms reach up just as high as your feet are pushing down. And then exhale, fold all the way down. Long spine, inhale, pubic bone and tailbone lengthen back, heart, crown of head, reach forward. And then exhale, same leg steps back, release the knee. Inhale, lunge. And then exhale, step back to plank. Halfway or all the way down. Back bend as you inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale your left leg back and up. Exhale, step forward. Low lunge. Inhale, opens it up. Arms reach up. Base of the pose is still pressing down. And then exhale, step into your forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, upward arms, stand up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold all the way forward. Long spine, inhale. Plank, exhale, lower halfway or all the way. You can always release the knees down for these. Back bend as you inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's do one more round. Inhale, right leg back and up. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to stand, arms up, feet rooting down. Exhale, fold down. Long spine, inhale, halfway lift. Good, right leg steps back, exhale, release the knee. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, plank to lower halfway or all the way. Back bend as you inhale, pulling the heart forward. And then downward facing dog, exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, left leg back and up. Exhale, step forward. Low lunge. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold at the front of your mat. Push through the feet. Inhale, stand up, arms up. Fold down, exhale. Long spine, inhale. Left leg steps back, exhale, low lunge. Inhale to take the arms up. And then exhale, plank to lower. Back bend as you inhale. And let's hold this back bend here. So you're in your cobra, your baby cobra, or maybe your upward facing dog. You could also hold sphinx if that feels more comfortable, coming down into your forearms. And whatever you're doing, the front of the base of the pose, your hands, maybe your forearms if you're in sphinx, are going to press down and start to pull back in a way that's going to slide your heart forward. Collarbones spread wide. Fronts of the armpits lift up. Shoulder blades spread wide. Bottoms of the shoulder blades drop and slide even a little forward. Let's take a breath in here, reaching back through the length of your legs. And then exhale, downward facing dog, maybe right into a child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, tabletop. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. Get long through the spine, through the legs, through the arms. Exhale, bend the knees. Look forward in between your thumbs. And at the bottom of your exhale on empty, you're going to walk or hop your feet up to your hands. Inhale to lengthen your heart. Exhale, fold down. Push through the feet, stand up. Urdhva Hastasana. And then exhale. The arms just come down by your sides, mountain pose. We're going to step out to the right. Toes all turn to the right. And then we're going to push the floor away with the feet. So as you push through that front foot, that right leg is going to get nice and long and start to send the hips back. As you push through your back leg, that left leg is going to get nice and long and start to push your spine forward. Right hand comes down to the inside edge of the foot, maybe onto a block. Just pause for a moment, pubic bone and tailbone back, collarbones, crown of head forward, and then everything pushes the floor away, pulling you into a little bit of a twist. The pushing of the feet and the legs down helps lighten the load, so the torso has a little bit more freedom to move here. And then you're just breathing. At the bottom of your next exhale, push even more into the bottoms of the feet. Stand your way up, inhale, and we'll change sides. Plant your legs. Set those roots down. And you can feel it. You can feel the more you push your left foot, your left leg down into the floor, the more that leg is going to grow long and slide the hips back. The more you anchor through your back leg, the more that leg is going to grow long and send your spine forward. So then you're nice and plugged in as you come into the twist. Trikonasana, triangle pose, find your breath. And then you just kind of play around. Would this pose be more comfortable if I send my pubic bone back more? Maybe I need to send my tailbone back a little bit more, taking some of the back bend out. Whichever one makes more sense for you is just going to depend on your natural inclinations in the pose. Like maybe your pelvis tends to be a little bit more forward tipped, and so finding that anchor through the tailbone makes you feel more steady and comfortable. So you just kind of like season it a little bit with your pelvic bones, and then we'll push down through the feet, bottom of the next exhale. Inhale, stand up, and we'll change sides again. I'm liking blocks for this lately. So feet pointing back, or pointing forward, driving the hips back, long spine here to start. So pubic bone and tailbone reach back, heart and crown of head reach forward. And then you can hang here for a little bit, letting that front leg get used to the length. Left hand to the inside of your foot. If you have a bigger twist, and this left shoulder comfortably lines up with your right leg, with your front leg, you can take the hand outside the foot. And we'll take the right arm out, coming into our Parivrtta Trikonasana, revolve triangle. And when you get into a pose like this, where there's a lot going on and it requires a lot of attention, and maybe your nerves even feel a little bit frayed, how do you use your breath to smooth things out again? Exhale, unwind the twist. Inhale, that left arm's gonna take you up, and we'll change sides. Maybe taking your blocks for the journey here. Hips facing forward, pubic bone and tailbone back, heart and crown of head forward. Lately I need a little more time, so I like to let my body just kind of acclimate in the pyramid shape first, and then opening it up into the twist. And then unwind. Inhale, windmill it around. Back down onto the blocks. Pressing through the legs, sending the spine forward. And then we'll walk the blocks forward, and we'll take that left leg parallel to the ground. At first, like we did in our bird dog, reaching through the heel, feel that support through the belly. And then let's open it up, peeling that left hip up towards the ceiling, maybe left arm up towards the ceiling, maybe gaze up towards the ceiling. All the while that right leg is still pushing the floor away to help float that right hip. Left hand comes down, square off the hips. Push the floor even more with that left leg. Maybe hands come to heart, coming into your warrior three. Feeling that engagement through the lower belly to press through both legs to keep your spine nice and long. And then release. Shake it out. Maybe even an active shake out through that right leg. Then rather than rotate around, we're going to step the right leg back to do the other side. Starting out in our pyramid shape, we'll press through the feet, send the hips back, lengthen the heart forward. And then we'll walk the blocks forward, taking that right leg parallel to the floor. Peeling the hip open. Maybe the arm peels open, maybe the gaze peels open. Both legs are pushing. Left leg pushes, so that left hip isn't sinking down. Right leg pushes like it's pushing into an imaginary wall to help give you that stability and the length through your spine. And then we'll square the hips back off again. Find the anchor of your left leg if you lost it. And then play around with your balance. Maybe hands to your heart. Gathering your attention in all the ways that you know how. Your gaze, your breath. And then we'll stand and shake it out. Inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, fold. Long spine, inhale. Exhale, plank to downward facing dog. And we'll bring that right knee forward for a pigeon prep. So, you want that right hip to feel supported. It's just gonna give it that felt sense of like, oh, I don't have to do so much work because something else is gonna hold me. So you can roll up a blanket like this and bring it under both hips. So it'll be under the front of your back hip, back of your front hip. And then you can come down, forehead on your hands or a block. Maybe you have a bolster underneath you here. Alternatives would be seated figure four here, or a reclined figure four, lying on your back, hugging your left leg. So in a pose like this, where there's not as much active engagement, you can start to look around, feel around, and notice some of the areas where maybe you're holding tension and you don't need to be. So common culprits in our pigeon prep. A lot of excess tension in the belly. So see if you can let those guts go. As you let that go, notice if there's any tension creeping up in the jaw, armpits. Maybe your tension is really just in your attitude here, like noticing that. And then you invite whatever parts of you are feeling the need to really armor up to soften a bit. You can even pose that as a question. Would you like to soften? Is there any amount that you could let go? And the answer might be no today, and that's okay. This first piece, bringing what might have been largely unconscious to a level of awareness where we can at least start to play around with what could we do about it, is huge. And then last piece here, let your attention drop down into your pelvic floor. 4 bones of the pelvic floor, your sit bones, pubic bone, and tailbone. And draw pubic bone and tailbone in towards each other. That's that PC muscle. And then draw your sit bones in towards each other. And as if you could thread a little needle right where all those 4 bones meet, and then just start to pick it up, like you're lifting a metal steamer up out of a pot. And does that allow your hips to feel supported enough from the inside that the outer hips can maybe let go just like a fraction of an amount? And the answer might be no, or just like, what? How am I even feeling into this? And that's great, because that means that you're pulled into the moment and not in that constant cycling of conversation, of narration that can go on inside your head. You're here. And so we're going to come out of that. You can take your supports out from underneath your right hip. Just roll right over onto your right hip. We'll swing that left leg around. So right foot somewhere along the inner left leg. Setting up for our Janu Shirshasana, you could lift your hips with a blanket. You can use a strap here over your foot. We're all going to press this right knee and thigh down and back behind us in a way that just starts to paddle us out over that left leg. And it might be enough right there. Think about finding a little bit more length in your left waist as well, so that outer left hip peels back. Long spine. Maybe you fold down any amount. Following your next exhale to the bottom of the breath, inhale, roll up. And we'll set up for our pigeon prep on the other side, supported in whatever way you need. And it might be slightly different because we are all asymmetrical. One hip might need some support in a way that the other did not. Honor that. And you know the deal. How to play with being present. So I will be quiet and you can breathe. Where can you soften? And with that gentle lift through the pelvic floor, start to remind your hips that they don't have to do so much. Start to make your way up. Coming onto your left hip, swinging that right leg around. Elevate the hips on a blanket if you need to, or you'd like to. And then that left knee, left thigh, you're gonna press down and back to send you out over your right leg, any amount. Maybe you have a strap. Lengthen out through the heart. Lengthen through the sides of the waist. Folding forward any amount. Following your next exhale to the bottom of the breath, and then the inhale will roll you up. Shake out the legs. And we'll take it back for Shavasana. Supporting your body in any way that it needs so that you can completely relax. Some things that might help you feel really supported and safe in your Shavasana, some support under the head or neck. You can come back into your spinal roll if you'd like. Weight on the body by way of blankets, pillows, bolsters. And then you lie back. And as we did in our spinal roll, maybe you start to make a little journey from the bottom to the top through your bones, seeing what you can release down. Letting the natural rhythm of your breathing come back in. So you can let the Ujjayi breath go. You can let all control of your breath go. And you watch your body breathe.
Draw in a longer breath through your nose. And exhale. You can pull the knees in. Notice which of your nostrils is more open. And you're going to roll over towards the more open side. Let your head rest on your bottom arm. And make your way up to a seat. You can bring your hands to prayer at your chest. Maybe stack the hands. Some gratitude to your body for all that you're able to do, all the ways that you're supported. And we'll close out our practice by chanting one Om.
Thank you so much for spending the time.
If you're taking this class not live this morning, all of the donations that we're raising for Choose Love. It's a humanitarian organization working with refugees globally. And for the next coming weeks, so we're in the first week of November, they will be matched 300%. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a good day.